Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I give you a story titled, A Video Surfaced of My Wife Cheating on Me, and I Don't Know How to Protect the Kids. And a shout out to Jacob for sending this story. And guys, this is all about a father who definitely is having a pretty tough period of time here in his life. Long story short, thought he was in a good marriage, things were great with the kids, and lo and behold, he finds out that not only did his wife cheat on him, but she was in spicy videos of the cheating, and it's spreading all online on various spicy websites, and people in their small town have found this, and it's turned into a nightmare. Small town means gossip, and that also means his kids, because he's a father, they're getting hounded by this too. It's a total mess. And this goes to show you that when someone cheats, a parent, it's not just on the spouse, it's also harming the family, the kids. And now this guy's being a strong father by trying to his best help the kids get through this and handle the situation. But the wife, she's toast, and that's quite appropriate here. That's a longer one, but I think you guys will definitely enjoy this one. He says, about a week ago, I got contacted by my wife's best friend's husband, asking if we can meet up and talk. Long story short, he dropped the big one by telling me that our wives are cheating on us, and showed me a video that has been spreading on PORN websites of our wives and their friend having you-know-what at their old house with some guys we'd never seen. Imagine that. He started his day thinking it was just like any other normal day, and next thing you know, this is what he finds out. When I confronted my wife about it, she went through all the stages of emotions and all the excuses she could come up with. In other words, that wasn't me. That was somebody else that looked like me. Or it's your fault I did that. She even says it wasn't even her, though her face is clearly visible. I immediately called my lawyer and explained things, to which he told me to take a breather, collect my thoughts, and he sent me an email with things to do so I can take it step by step. I love this. This guy isn't messing around. Boom. Right to the lawyer's office. There is no coming back from this. Guys, imagine that. Your wife and the mother of your kids, videos of her, doing all sorts of things. What would you do? I'm 46, my wife is 44, and we do have 3 kids. Our daughters the oldest is 12, 4, and our son is 9. They all go to school where we live. They're all doing sports or activities. They love it here, they're doing great, and this is the biggest issue that come in their lives. We live in a small town, and word has definitely gotten around. I spent most of my life living in a small town, guys, and believe me, it is gossip, gossip, gossip. And guess what? All these years later, the small town that I spent most of my life living in Pennsylvania is still the same. A lot of things I've noticed before knowing this happened made so much more sense now. Weird looks I get from people ignoring me or flat out excusing themselves quickly when they talk to me, people have seen it, and I'm scared for my kids. Our eldest daughter has already received comments about it at school, along the lines of, your mom is a, wait for it, WHORE, and as someone who is bullied a lot in school, and knowing these videos are close to impossible to take down, I'm so scared that they're going to get bullied and their lives are going to be destroyed. These poor kids. And the one who gets the worst is the teenage daughter. Well, she's 12, but she might as well be a teenager. Kids are cruel, and oh my God, and it's not her fault. The only possible option for me seems to be to leave town and start over elsewhere. But I don't want my kids to miss out on their friends, their hobbies, and activities. It's going to rip them out of their lives, but staying here where everybody knows seems incredibly unsafe. I'm probably missing a lot that I should be adding. Please, if there's any info left to share, I will update. But for the last week, all I've been grinding in my head is how to keep my kids safe. Is there anything I can do at all? Now, he's going to continue on with updates here, but you know what? Notice this, guys? He's not saying anything about how heartbroken he is or betrayed he is. He's focusing on protecting his kids. He's a good dad. But think about this. The woman he married, he's been with her for a while now, obviously he loved enough to marry her and stay with her, is doing that to him, betraying him. It's over. Really, take that in, but he's focusing on the kids as a good dad would. Now to these updates. He says here, I've been getting a lot of comments, and I'd like to thank you all for doing so. It really helps even if it's just someone listening in. I wanted to edit this and post somewhere of an update to clarify things a bit more, since I didn't really share enough info initially. People end up giving great advice, but I asked the wrong questions, so to speak. He says, my son is autistic. He's very attached to his teacher, who's made incredible progress with him. He doesn't respond well to change in his life. Having him move places away from his mom, his grandma, his friends, his school, etc., is going to be incredibly difficult for him to the point where I don't know how he could recover from that. The second this dude said autistic, I'm thinking, uh-oh, that's going to be tough on the kid. Because, dudes that have autism, they don't like change. They like routine. I had a personal training client that was autistic, and that dude, it was routine. If you know how to work with that type of guy, someone that has autism, you're fine. But they do not like change. My daughter is an early teen. She has so much changes going on already, and she's finally found a group of friends she's close with and fits in. Do you think I should take them away from here, completely flipping their lives upside down, if it means I can protect them from what's going to come? In other words, bullying. My mother, who loves her grandkids and loves my wife, lives in a retirement home. She's unwell and knows something is going on, but doesn't know exactly what it is. If I tell her exactly what happened, I feel I'm going to break her heart and hurt her to the point where she gets sicker and sicker. Damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. Do I tell her what happened, or do I tell her a white lie and not risk it all? She can't come and visit us. We usually go to her unless it's holidays or about once a month or every 2 months to pick her up and bring her home. Moving means that's going to be more difficult. The kids love her, and I don't want to take them away from her or from each other. Man, it is just one thing after another. Now the update. He says, the last couple hours I've been getting more texts from people who are concerned or warning me about videos going around WhatsApp groups. All in all, the effort a close friend and I took to take down the videos has been useless because it's going around town and there's no way to stop it. There is no way to stop it. Once it's on the internet, that is it, because it's going to spread different sites, different blogs. People are going to send it to each other. They download it. There's no fixing this. All I can do now is damage control. I just don't know where the right steps are for my kids so far, but my close friends and Reddit are almost 50-50 about it. Well, at the end of the day, that info is always out there, but it's going to be a lot easier to... If he relocated and they start over, that's going to be very hard on those kids on multiple fronts, and grandma. But at least they're in an area that nobody knows them. But all it takes is one video popping up and they're like, But then again, if they're getting divorced and he has the kids and the mom's not there, maybe that makes things easier. My lawyer and I will discuss custody. I'm not sure how to do this yet. The kids love their mom and she loves them, and taking them away from one another might not be the best option. On the other hand, if she's seen with our kids and people put 2 and 2 together, they might still be unsafe even if we move. Exactly. But at the end of the day, here's the deal. Do the kids actually know? The oldest obviously knows what happened. But what about the other ones? They probably don't know what the hell they're talking about. Therapy is being worked on for the kids and myself. I'm definitely divorcing my wife. Certainly, my friend. I'm going to talk with the school board this week, and they've already started watching the kids for their safety. My wife called me, and she wants to talk. I'm thinking about whether I should go right now. I'd be like, nope. No, you ruined this family. There's nothing to talk about. You want to talk to me? Get a lawyer. And your lawyer, my lawyer, can talk. My brother called me, who's about 30 kilometers away, asking me what's going on because he's seen the video in a WhatsApp group as well. So it seems to be spreading fast to other towns as well. Okay, look, I'm sure there's a number of spicy videos out there on the internet that you couldn't even put a number on. So why is this video spreading so much? Unless they're doing some freaky stuff where it's like, hey, that's my neighbor. Oh, that's my neighbor's sister. Blah, 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 I'm having a talk with my oldest daughter tomorrow, and I'm going to give her the space and time to express her feelings. I'm going to listen to her and let her make up her own mind. I'm going to support her and tell her I'm there for her if she needs me, and I'm going to try and explain to her in a way that is understandable. And I'm not going to slander my wife in front of her or any of our kids for that matter. Well, if you're telling the kids the truth, that's not slander. But does he really want to say, yeah, honey, your mom was getting plowed in the caboose in that person's video, but never mind that. How much, I think he's just going to simply say, yeah, your mom was, who knows? I think that's all for now. I'll try to keep up with the comments and get back to you as much as I can. Again, thank you all so much for your advice and listening. My wife has not been talking up until just now, and I'm going to talk to her about what she's going to do to protect our kids. Man, this guy is strong. All about the kids. He'll deal with his own emotions and shit later. Now again to another update here. He says, hi Reddit. I want to do an update after receiving a lot of questions and comments about my situation, and because a lot of people haven't gotten answers yet in my initial post. Life has not been good in the last few months. 4 months ago, I learned that my wife cheated on me and was recording and spreading on PORN websites. The biggest problem, the safety and well-being of the kids. Well, this is a situation that's going to get worse before it gets better. I've divorced my wife. Awesome. That was quick. I lawyered up and we decided to move to another town because we lived in a small community and the damage was done. Our daughter received nasty comments and I couldn't risk the kids being more exposed. It wasn't just nasty comments. It's the looks you get and the fact that you know the entire town is talking about you and has seen the mother of your kids in such a way. First, my daughter. People suggested I should speak to her ASAP when I found out what was happening to try to do damage control and be there for her. I did speak to her and she already knew and heard about it. She also received nasty comments. In short, I feel like I was too late because I held off talking to her because I didn't know how to be honest, and I was scared to death. She's in therapy, but she's not doing well. Again, it's going to get worse before it gets better, but you're doing what you can, Dad. You know, I just feel so bad for those kids. All because of Mama. In a perfect world, that'd be the perfect reason for the judge to say, nope, Mama, you're not getting custody of those kids. Moving schools was hard on her because she was finally making friends in what is a confusing time for a young girl. She's quiet, and I have had a hard time communicating with her. I told her that therapy could take time, and 3 to 4 months isn't all that much, but it kills me to see her unhappy. She doesn't want to talk to me about the situation, which I completely understand. I assured her that if she wants to talk about anything, I'm there for her. I think that's the best way to go for it. Baby, I love you. I'm here for you. That type of thing. My son, unfortunately, isn't doing well either. I didn't think so. He's autistic, and it takes a long time for him to adjust and settle. He had an amazing teacher and caretaker in school who he trusted. That's gone from his life, and he's just very uneasy about it. His parents split up. We changed the house, location. All in all, it's been very hard on him, and we're trying to get him to feel secure and at ease, but so far it's been very hard. Again, the boy's autistic, and they do not like change. It's all about routine, routine, routine. Our youngest is doing fine, thankfully. She's too young to grasp what's been going on, even though she asks about her mom and dad and why we moved. But she's actually enjoying herself, which is kind of a blessing at this point. I figured the 4-year-old would be okay, except she just would miss seeing her mom and grandma all the time. My mother passed away 2 months ago. Oh my God. If I'm this guy, I'm thinking, God, are you pissed at me or something? Or what the hell did I do in my past life to deserve all this shit? Talk about when it rains, it pours. Now grandma's gone? As if the kids are already messed up enough. She's been unwell, living in a retirement home. I took the kids to see her as much as possible, which got harder as we moved places and was one of the factors I had to take into consideration about moving or staying. I never told her exactly what happened because I just could not do it. It would have wrecked her. I told her we were moving, and my wife and I split up. No matter what, that's going to cause a lot of turmoil for her. She asked why, of course, but I just told her we weren't seeing eye to eye about things, and everything was going to be all right. I feel conflicted about lying to her, but at the same time, I didn't want to burden her with something that's not going to get better. A lot of people were asking me about my wife, the cheating situation, the video, etc. And I hadn't really touched on that before because it simply wasn't a priority. So I wanted to touch on that here. Okay, guys, here we go. More details about the mother here. Some people ask if there were signs of her cheating, and the short answer is yes. Now listen to all the signs of cheating. This is going to sound very familiar to you guys. I just didn't see it or pay attention to it because you're in love, you got kids to care for, and you might be naive. Basically, she was more distant towards me, and we weren't intimate very often. I figured she was just exhausted as life can be, especially with kids. She started going out more with her friends, in other words, girls' nights, paid a lot more attention to her looks, makeup, and clothing. All of a sudden, she didn't care for years how she looked, or not as much. Now she's hitting the gym, changing her outfits. I wonder why. She bought shoes she never wore. She was very protective of her phone. There's another red flag. I just thought she was having a good time with her friends, and I thought she deserved that, minus the infidelity part. Well, she was having a good time with her friends. Too good of a time. And notice the friends are doing it too. This is why I say pay attention to who your girl hangs out with. I got a lot of questions and AI deepfake on the video. The answer is no. The video was recorded at my wife's friend's house. This was confirmed to me by her husband, who initially informed me about the situation. I'm aware that AI can do scary things, but I recognize my wife very easily. I recognize one of her friends. I recognize her shoe, clothes, and my wife confessed to the whole thing eventually. Keyword eventually. Is the video still online? Yes, and it's not ever coming down. A friend of mine works IT, and he went ahead and did everything he could as soon as I got the news, and it's basically impossible. How did the cheating start or happen? How long were they drunk, coerced, or pressured into it? He says, my wife locked herself in our bedroom for a long time, refusing to properly talk about anything, and to be honest, I didn't ask because the kids had my absolute priority and attention. So when it all comes out, her way of handling it like a mature adult is to lock herself in the bathroom. Yeah, thanks. I've been having therapy myself, and it was recommended that I do so and talk about it with my wife to get some closure, but only when I felt ready for it. What kind of closure do you need? She was doing a spicy videos, cheating on him, hooking up with other dudes on video, and now everybody knows and has seen it. What possible closure is necessary at this point? It's over. Well, I ended up talking to my wife, her friend, and her friend's husband separately. The cheating my wife did was a one-time thing according to her. What a steaming pile of crap. The cheating my wife did was a one-time thing according to her, and the unmarried friend has always been a promiscuous woman. Again, pay attention to who your girl hangs out with. She probably just wanted to sabotage things. Apparently, she'd been hooking up with a guy she met on a forum and dragged my wife and the other mutual friend into it. Really? Dragged them in, like she physically grabbed her hair and said, okay, open up your mouth. Really? There was a thrill to it, and they had been sexting this guy and other guys that they met before. They went to a club somewhere, had drinks, and ended up at home having you-know-what. The video was taken by one of the men at the time. They all denied giving consent to it, but were aware they were being filmed. Of course they knew they were being filmed. At some point, two of them looked right at the camera. After that night, my wife had been sexting one of the men for quite some time, but says she never acted on it again. Okay, well that makes things so much better. One time, and yeah, you've been sexting him on through texts and all, but nothing, never went any further than that. Sure, but both her friends kept seeing them. The story is still very vague, as they women have conflicting stories about what happened, but this was the gist of it, and I knew enough. Of course they have conflicting stories. You're never going to get the full truth, ever. I'm probably missing out on a lot still, and I'm willing to answer any questions. Right now, I'm in therapy, and so are my kids. My ex-wife still lives back in our hometown, but with her mother. Man, she's a pariah in that town. Or other guys in that town are thinking, shit, look what she was doing on video. Maybe I can get a piece with her. Seriously. Guys are dogs. I guarantee that. I guarantee all the women in that town hate her guts. They don't want her anywhere near their husbands. My ex-wife still lives back in the hometown, blah, blah, blah. The house is going up for sale. I'm still focused on getting my kids whatever they need, and I'm hopeful they get around this, or get through this. Dude, the 4-year-old's going to be fine. I think once your son adjusts to life there, it can take him a long time. I think it'll be a lot better. But the 12-year-old, she's going to be messed up for a long time. The video is still being shared, and occasionally I get someone asking me about it online, though, never in person. However, the worst seems to be over, and despite the worries I have for my kids not doing well at the moment, I still think moving was the right choice. Back home, things got out of control. Please let me know if you have any advice or questions. I'm on paid leave right now, and to be honest, it feels good to being able to vent a bit. Again, I hope this is the right way to go about the update post. Take care. Holy crap. Those poor kids. And guess what? Also, that poor guy. He hasn't even begun to have to deal with his own turmoil and hurt and pain and betrayal and all that, let alone he's working on the kids. But this goes to show you what a strong man does for his family, for his kids. And it is going to be it's going to be the hardest for the daughter. And I hope that this whole experience makes sure the girl doesn't end up like the mother. If there's any experience that makes sure the girl doesn't end up like her mother, this is it. But anyhow, guys, there you go. Salami Gomorrah 2.0, while you always pay attention to who your girl hangs out with, etc., etc. But anyhow, yeah, and also, it isn't just cheating on the husband, it's also the whole family. Look at the giant mess here. But anyhow, guys, there you go. I truly do wish this guy the best. And if you see any updates about the whole thing, definitely let me know. Alright guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.